Welcome to the road to a million. So people I just was just talking to, you guys are OGs. You guys are inside the community. You guys are people who I know, who I trust. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. And there's a lot of strangers on here today. I'm afraid of strangers. Don't talk to strangers, they said. Unless you're on a Zoom call, then everything's safe. So if you're a stranger today, welcome, welcome. And I'm more afraid of you than you should be afraid of me. Okay. But we can all become really friendly if you engage in the chat. If you turn your cameras on and you are a human, there's a high probability we can all be friends. And if you have a cleaning business or you're interested in growing a cleaning business or starting a cleaning business, you're going to have a lot of fun today. Okay? Because that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about how to grow a cleaning business. And a lot of you guys who are new here today, you guys probably saw our Facebook post. So that Facebook group, ironically enough, we were just talking about it this weekend. We started a Facebook group in 2023, in February 2023, and we started it on the same premise as we're going to be talking about today, as we were growing our first cleaning business. And at the time, our first cleaning business was doing around 35, 40-ish, 45,000. I don't quite remember, to be completely fair. But we decided that we were going to grow $1 million business. And we thought that one of the ways to ensure that we actually did that was we just told everybody we were going to do it. We had public accountability. And so we started documenting the process of growing our first cleaning business. And so that's where a lot of the OGs who I mentioned on earlier, they caught that wind. And yeah, it was like very small. There's probably just a handful of people, like 5, 6, 7 people who got on a couple of those Zooms. And we did it, I think, almost every single week. We just shared what we were doing inside our first cleaning business. And that was February 2023, and by June, I believe it was, by June of 2023, we hit our first $100,000 month. And I think now it's been 14 or 15 months since we hit our first $100,000 month. I think we've only dipped below 100,000 once, maybe twice. I'll have to look for sure. But that cleaning company in 2023, it ended the annual year 2023 doing $1.1 million, and that was the top line. Exciting $1 million cleaning business. What most people really should be asking is, what did the bottom line do? Like, how much profit was actually made from that business? And so the business profited $193,000, and also Katie, who is my wife, who's on here, she was the operator to that business, and I think her total income that year was like $25,000 or $26,000. So it made about $220,000. So not bad, not bad. Okay. And so this year we hired a general manager to actually run the location. And so when I say run the location, I don't mean she like did some things and she was like our assistant and our right-hand person. Like, she freaking runs the location. Like, Katie and I are in Arizona. Our first cleaning business is in Montana. And we have done 0 meetings. We have done 0 sales. We have done 0 onboardings. The cleaners don't even know who either of us are. I shouldn't say that. The cleaners don't know who I am. Katie went back and went to the office for a week. She was in Montana for about a week, and she did like a little team party where some of the cleaners met her. But outside of that, most of the cleaners wouldn't even know who she was, right? So like, just to be completely fair of like what our involvement is as far as operations of the business. However, the general manager who runs location, like, we communicate with her often, right? I have a one-on-one with her, Katie has a one-on-one with her, and then we communicate with her probably daily for the most part, right? Is that we just like to communicate with her. And so that's really where our communication is with her. And so that location, as you guys saw, as I posted into the Facebook group, this year already hit $1 million. So it actually hit $1 million on October 11th. And right now, I think the profit is 130, and then with Katie's pay, it's like 70. So it's about 200, right? So it's about a 20% margin, which, by the way, means that we just made $200,000 and haven't done a single sale, haven't done a single team meeting, and haven't done a single onboarding. and most of the cleaners don't even know who we are. And so most people, that doesn't seem fathomable. And I'll be honest with you, until last year, I would have probably not, maybe 100% believed you as well, right? But that is the reality. Those are the facts. And so the reason that we're on here today, though, is because in March, Katie and I decided to start a second cleaning business. Because we're like, who in here would like a cleaning business that nets you $200,000 that you don't do anything in outside of like talking to the person who runs it? Anybody be down with that? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. If your hands are not raised, you might as well get off this call. Like, this call is not for you then, okay? This call is for people who want to grow a big old business and be the coach of the business rather than be the doer of the business, okay? Both are hard, by the way. It is hard to be the doer in the business. It is also hard to be the coach in the business. All right. Don't raise your hands. Ain't no one asking questions today. Good. I'm just joking. Both are hard. It's both hard being the doer in your business, doing all the sales calls, doing the onboardings, talking to the cleaners, having one-on-ones. It is hard doing those things. It is also hard giving up the control of all those things and trusting somebody else who is younger than you, who's dumber than you, who knows less about the whole business than you do, who cares less about the business than you do, to give them that responsibility. Both are hard. And so as much as I'd love to sell it as like amazing, like it is very difficult to run a business from thousands of miles away that you have little control over. With somebody who is 12 years younger than you and who has 10 less years experience than you do, and to trust that person wholly to run the business is very difficult. But that is what we're going to talk about today, is how do you give up the control to have the freedom to run a business that does a couple $100,000 a year without you having to be in every little decision of the business. Okay. And so in March, Katie and I started a second location in a different state. First business, Katie, where's the first business at?
Montana.
Montana. Okay. Second business. Where's the second business at? Where are you sitting at? Where are you at right now?
Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa, Arizona. For all you guys who are unfamiliar with Arizona, which, by the way, we were just up until a couple years ago, it is it's like a suburb of Phoenix, right? So, sorry, my Doi level is yelling at me. It is a suburb of Phoenix. And so that's where we live. We basically live in Phoenix. If you want to know, if you were to come visit us, we live in Phoenix, okay? But Mesa, Arizona is the town that we live in. And so we started a cleaning business in this market, which, by the way, is really different. Really different. Katie, how is Mesa, Arizona different than Bozeman, Montana? You have one example of how it's different.
There's about 100x more people here. No joke.
There might be. Yeah. So in Bozeman, our town is relatively small. So any of you guys live in smaller areas, small towns, ish?
50,000 people or less?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say probably 100,000 people or less. I would consider that a small town, right? Anybody you guys live in smallish towns? Anybody? So that's where our first business is. Okay. And that is the business that did $1 million last year. It's already done $1 million this year. And so small towns, you can do it. And ironically enough, I've met 2 other cleaning businesses in Bozeman, Montana that are also doing $1 million a year. Like,
there's enough people.
There's enough people. You can grow multiple $1 million cleaning businesses in a relatively small town. And so Bozeman has 50,000 people. Katie, how many people does Mesa have? And like, when I say Mesa, I mean just Mesa, not Phoenix, not Chandler, not Gilbert, not Scottsdale, not Glendale, not Peoria, just Mesa.
I think just over 1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Mesa, Arizona has 1 million people in it. It's freaking wild, right? So I don't know if that is 100x. I don't know. Tyler Showers, do the math. How much bigger is Mesa, Arizona than Bozeman? Give me a ratio, okay? Put it in the chat. So this is a huge market, okay? What are the differences, Katie? Bobby said it too.
The weather. It's hotter than hell here. There's 2 seasons. There's hot and there's summer hot. And then in Montana, we actually get all 4 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. What about from a business standpoint? Like, what are the differences from a business standpoint, from a market standpoint of like challenges of a business running from Bozeman to Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona, it's fucking phenomenal to live here as a consumer. Shit arrives at my door. If I order it in the morning, it's at my doorbell, like at the front door in the afternoon. So very consumer friendly. Lots of options. In Montana, fewer options. One Walmart, no additional options. So
Yeah.
from a consumer standpoint, it's a terrible place to live, but a small business standpoint, apparently it's a great place to start a business.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there's always pros and cons, guys. And I think that's the thing I want to share with you guys is that every market has its challenges. Every market has its positives, and every market, with all positives come downsides and all downsides come upsides. So with Bozeman, it has less people. Most people consider that a negative thing. However, less people means that you have less competition to some degree, right? And so there's not as many service providers in Bozeman. And so with that being said, that it might be easier that if you're at least a decent business owner, then you can keep your client because the consumer doesn't have a ton of options to go to. If you mess up, people are just like, well, what else am I going to go do? You know, there's not a ton more options. Down here where there's a lot of people, a lot of options, yes, it's like there's a million people in Mesa. It's like we'll never run out of people. But the people also never run out of businesses to try. So if you mess up, people have very quick leashes to let you go, right? They're like, screw you, I can go find the next person. Like there's so many more people down here. I would say that, again, this is one of the most competitive markets for business, right? Just business in general. And for cleaning business as well, because at the end of the day, there's 4 million people inside the metro of Phoenix, right? Inside what would be considered the metropolis of Phoenix. And there's a ton of old people, old money, because people come down here to snowbird. They come down here to live because the weather is nice. You know, outside of summer hot, like Arizona is a really, really nice place to live. And so it makes it very competitive in the aspect that there's lots of businesses down here. And there's lots of big businesses. There's lots of really smart people. There's lots of money down here. So that is one of the challenges in a market like this is that like if the consumer don't like you, then they move on because they have a bazillion options. So those are some of the things that we've experienced in this location versus the first location in totally different markets. Okay. Now, with all that being said, you guys ready for this? We're going to be talking about today the growth of this second location. Okay. So the growth of the second location, we started in March. One of the other challenges for us personally is that we had no network down here. You know, outside of we have some real estate community that we're part of. Outside of those people, like we have no family, we have no friends down here, and so we legitimately started this business with strangers. And so that was another unique challenge of starting this business. But outside of that, what we're going to share with you guys today is like how we grew the first location, the same systems and processes as how we're growing this location. Okay. And so if this is you guys' first time on this road to $1 million, for the last 32 weeks, we've been doing this call for the last 32 weeks. And we've been documenting the start of this location in Mesa, Arizona, started with 0 clients. And we have now grown this thing to over 100 recurring clients, which we'll talk about the actual numbers here shortly. And we're going to walk you through exactly how much money we spend on marketing, what channels we use to pay for marketing, and where we get leads that come in and that say, hey, I'm interested in your cleaning services. We're going to document that. We're going to be talking about how we convert those leads into initial cleans. So if you're like, okay, you get leads, and what do you do with them? We're going to walk through the process of exactly what we do, how many phone calls we make, how many people we actually connected with, how many quotes that we offered to people, how many people said yes, and they gave us their credit card and said, I'm interested, and we booked them on our calendar. And then we'll talk about how many people that we then, after we did a first-time clean with them, that we got them to commit to doing a second, third, fourth clean, turn them into a recurring client. We'll talk about that process as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about cleaners. How many cleaners do you have to grow $1 million business? How many cleaners do you have to grow your business from 0 to 40,000 in 6 months? How many cleaners do you have to grow from your business from 40,000 to 80,000 in the next 6 months? We're going to be walking through that process. And then, Katie, what else are we going to be talking about? I don't know what else we're
I
talking
don't
about.
know.
Yeah. And then we're talking about where our business is weak at. I'm going to show you guys where I think that the business is weak and where it needs some attention, some focus, and what we're going to be focusing on in order for this thing to actually get closer to that $1 million run rate. Does anyone here not know what the $1 million run rate is? How much revenue does your business need to do on average per month in order for you to have $1 million business?
Tyler dropped it in the chat so eloquently. $83,000 per month.
So if you ever hear somebody say you're looking to get a $1 million run rate, that's what they're referring to. If you do $83,000 a month for 12 months, you would have a $1 million business. Okay. So who's ready? Who's ready to dive in and see the numbers and for us to walk you guys through what this business looks like today and what it's going to need to look like in order for it to be $1 million? You guys cool with that? Type in the chat. Again, if you guys want to have fun here, engage, turn your cameras on, talk to the other people in here. It's pretty cool. This is a group of cleaning business owners. Like, where do you get to be at on the internet where you get to hang out with people who are just like you, who have goals just like you, who are building $1 million businesses? Like, where else can you do this? For free. Oh my gosh. This is, who invented the internet? Thank that guy, right? Thank that guy, whoever invented the freaking internet, right? It's a cool place. A cool place where you can be in a room full of strangers and not feel threatened. So exciting. Okay. So you guys are threatening me. You guys are getting some evil eyes here. All right. Get to the point. Getting there, bro. Getting there. Okay. Let's go. Yes, Steph Fontana. I love it. Let's do this thing. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this. I'll make it real big for the people in the back, as Tyler Stowers will say, make it big for the people in the back. All right. People in the back, can you see it? Put your thumbs up if you guys can see it. Put your thumbs down if you can't. All right. Cool. So this is the vision sheet. Okay, the vision sheet is one of my favorite sheets. So again, if you are new here and you've never seen the vision sheet, James. So James is my assistant. James is an amazing human being. James is the one who sends the emails to get you guys on here. James is the one who starts these Zooms. So give James some love first off. But then second off, James, will you please post in the chat the link for the masterclass? Okay, so if anybody in here is not inside the masterclass is 100% free. Okay, there's absolutely zero cost. There's no pitch. There's nothing in there. It's just value, and everything that you guys hear today, like there is handouts. There's like sales scripts. There's marketing, copy and videos and funnels. The blueprint you see here today, like this goals, like how do we figure out what it takes for our cleaning business to get to $1 million? It's called the $1 million cleaning business blueprint. You guys can get that for free, and I show you how to use it. Okay, it's all for free. So if you're not part of the masterclass, go do that. James will drop the link for you. It's 100% for free. Let me help you understand what it takes in order for your business to grow $1 million, and you'll be like, I can do that.
Or not.
Yeah. Well, you can do it, but.
Well, I think if I saw it, I'd be like, hell no, that's a lot of work.
it is a lot of work. Yeah, exactly. Don't tell them all the secrets here, because they're about to figure out what it actually takes to grow $1 million business, and like some people don't want to do the work. But if you're willing to do the work, let me help direct you where you need to put your attention at, because most people want to work hard. Most people are willing to work hard. Most people just work hard on the wrong things. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys what we're working on to allow you guys to have the ability to see maybe your attention needs to be adjusted and be shifted a little bit in order for you to actually have the probability of growing $1 million cleaning business. Okay, let's go. We almost have 60 people on here today. That's pretty fun. So again, like use this as an opportunity, guys. All the OGs are in here. Make sure you're talking to people. Make sure you're like telling what's up. Make sure you're saying what's up. Let them like help them. Let them know that like we're friendly people here, right? And if you're brand new, turn your camera on, engage in the chat, ask questions, and you'll probably get some really good answers. There's some really smart people in here. Also who have really big businesses, right? There's people in here who also do $100,000 a month. There's people in here who do $60,000 a month. There's people in here who do $40,000, $50,000 a month. Like there's some people in here who know what the hell they're talking about as well. Yeah. So with that being said, the vision sheet right here. Again, if you want to understand how to do the vision sheet and you want a free copy, it's inside the masterclass. So we have our goals. Kitty, our goal is $83,000. Again, tell the people why the goal is $83,000.
Because that equates to $1 million in revenue.
Yeah.
Per year for 7 or 7 months, 12 months a year.
And while $1 million is an arbitrary number, why is it important actually to have a $1 million business?
So then you can afford to have 2 office people to protect you from having to go back into the business to operate it.
Yeah. And so the one thing I touched on earlier when I was sharing Bozeman's P&L for this year, this was the most important piece, was that company's made $1 million. Kitty and I have taken home over $200,000. But what's most important, if you guys actually look inside the Facebook group, there's a line item right under owner's pay where it says GM pay. Our GM has already made $76,000. And so the reason that we are able to not have to operate the business is we pay somebody very well. They're going to make $100,000 as an employee this year. That is how we're able to actually not be part of the operations. You pay someone 6 figures, they treat the thing like it's their business. And so that's why we believe it is so valuable to have a big business, $1 million business, because you have enough revenue, you have enough profit to pay somebody else to actually run the thing for you. And so here's the irony. Like I said last year, Katie, how much money did we actually take home last year?
About $220,000.
About $220,000. Okay. And you were still doing a lot of the work, right? You were still doing team meetings. You were still part of the operations of the business, right?
Yep.
This year, we hired Aliyah, that's her name, and we gave her 20% profit share. Means that of all the profit, she earns 20% of the profit. Right now, that location has already netted $200,000 in October. And that's, by the way, just so you guys know, that's us giving away 20% of the profits already. We've already given 20% of the profits away. It's going to make more money. It's going to make more money for us by giving away more profit because the business actually is going to grow. Crazy. Like last year it did 1.1. This year it's on track to do between 1.3 to 1.4. And so yes, we gave up profits. However, we end up making more money because we gave it to one person. Or should I say, well, like I said, there's actually 2 people in the office, but one person is heavily incentivized. And they were so incentivized they were able to grow the business because guess what? They get paid the same way we do. Their salary, their wage goes up when the profits go up. So this is where like the abundance and scarcity mindset come into place, where most people are just like, I don't want to give up money. I don't want to give up profits. The more that you give, the bigger you can receive. Okay. So that's why the $83,000 is so important. It's because we actually can pay someone very, very well. We can pay someone to have their full attention on this thing and treat it just like their own business. So that's why $83,000 is the goal. All right. So back to the $1 million cleaning business blueprint. So we used that $1 million cleaning business blueprint, which is inside the masterclass, and we came up with what our business looks like when we actually add $1 million. So in order for us to hit $83,000 a month, we need to have 383 job ticket hours. Job ticket hours also refers to as cleaning hours. So every single job that we do has a number of cleaning hours associated with it. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So for all you guys who are unfamiliar with that term, it's just how many hours are assigned for a cleaning? And so we need to have 383 hours every single week. Last week we were at 233. So we're still about 150 off from having $1 million cleaning business down in Mesa, Arizona. But as you guys can see here, last week was 228, which was a PR. The week before that was 207, 224, 175. So 233 is the PR. What is a PR? What is a PR?
Personal record.
Personal record. So you might be hearing me talk about that a little bit today. Average cleaner hours. Our goal is to have our cleaners work on average 28 hours a week. Last week they worked 23. We need 14 cleaners. We need 14 cleaners to work 28 hours in order for us to get to 383 cleaning hours a week. And so last week we had 10 cleaners, and you can see that we float a little bit, 12, 12, 11, 11. So When we get down to the pipeline, you guys will see that we always have people in training. We're always floating. We're always hiring. Okay. But we also recognize that we need 14 cleaners in order for us to get to this $1 million run rate of $82,000 a month. Now, projected monthly revenue. Check this out. Katie, what are we projected to hit for the month of October?
50,000.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool, right? Pretty exciting. This is getting closer. This is the closest that we've seen so far in this business. And again, for all you guys who are brand new, we've been in this business for 32 weeks, week number 32. So I think that breaks down to we're month number 8. So in 8 months, we're projected at the end of October to hit 50,000 for the month, which is cool considering that. And what did we hit last month, which was September, Katie? Do you remember?
A little over 43,000.
Yeah. Yep. I think it was 43, 42, somewhere in there. And then what did we hit in, what's the month before that? August.
August was, I think, 39-ish thousand.
Yeah. So we definitely had a good little jump this month, up to 50. And one of the coolest parts, Katie, how many sales did you do for the month of October?
None.
Pretty cool, right? So we have 2 full-time office people now. You guys can see them kind of rolling around behind Katie. And so we actually hired the office people in August. We definitely hired them early, but we also realized that we knew what we wanted the business to look like, and the business didn't look like Katie and I working in the business, right? So it's not something I recommend for most people, but we hired the office people early, and it took a couple months for them to get some traction, but we're finally starting to see some fruits of hiring those people early, because now this business is not dependent on Katie and I's attention. We are on this call. As you can see, nobody else on our team is on this call because they're making freaking sales calls. They're doing conversion calls. They're doing the work. Okay. Now, you guys, it's good for you to be on this call so you guys can figure out what work you need to do. And after this meeting, we actually had a meeting with our office staff where we go over the same freaking sheet. We go over with them as well, so we can outline, here is what we're doing well at, here's where we're doing poor at, here's what we need to focus on, here's a strategy that we're going to implement this week in order for us to minimize our constraint, and so this thing can continue to grow. So $50,000 is projected for the month of October, which is exciting because we still have 2 weeks that this number, there's a high probability this number will actually go up. So that's cool to see. As you guys can see here over the last 3 weeks, we started the month at 40,000. Then last week we were at 44,000, and this week we're at 50,000. So, next week we might see this number even get closer to 55. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now we're at $31,000 revenue. Last week we hit a PR weekly revenue. Katie, $12,000 last week. That was the first time we hit $12,000 in this business. That's exciting.
So exciting.
So exciting. So exciting. Revenue per clean was $232 per clean. So that's not too bad either. And then we did 52 total cleans last week. So again, as you guys can see here, what our goals are, we need to do $19,000 a week in order for us to hit 83,000. And we need to do 96 cleans a week, and we did 52. So again, we're about 44 cleans away. So a little over halfway. So that's exciting. We're on the other side. We're starting down. If the hill feels like it's like this, now we're hopefully feeling, is it going to go like this, Katie? Or does it just keep going up and up and up and up and up? It's like this hill just keeps getting steeper. You know what's funny? Okay, here's the part that, again, because we've grown a cleaning business before, this is actually how I felt. I felt like the first half was really hard, and then I felt like the second half to 83 was actually a little bit easier. And the reason why I think it's easier is because, again, me and Katie are not in the way. We are not the ones who actually have to perform the duties of the business. We're not the ones who are reacting to the client complaints. We're not reacting to the clients canceling or to cleaners quitting or cleaners complaining. There's a level of separation between us and the reactivity of the business, and that allows us to stay logical. And instead of being like, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, we're like, okay, it's a problem. You're right. How are we going to solve it? Right. And we're able to stay in a more neutral state, which allows us to figure out a logical answer rather than like us also like yelling the sky is falling. Okay. So that's why I think it's actually easier to grow a business once you actually have people in the office, for that reason alone, because they don't get as emotional as you do about your business. Nobody's going to care as much as you do, and sometimes that caring can also be self-sabotaging. So being like putting yourself in a situation where you are less emotionally volatile is honestly helpful for the business, and that's why the data is so important. Okay, so as I promised earlier, now I told you guys where we're at in comparison to where our goals are, so you can see we're a little over halfway. Now let's actually talk about how we got there. So as far as revenue is concerned, we use ZenMade to bill, and we use QuickBooks actually to like receive the income, right? So like QuickBooks is what's the bank account, ZenMade is what is billed. And so for the monthly, we've billed 31, collected 21. I think this number is off, right, Katie? Didn't you say something like what's going on with this number?
We just had a lag, and our bookkeeper didn't actually input some income. So okay. It is off, but it's still a little, there's still a gap.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this number is way off though. But this number, as you can see, there's a gap here in collected versus billed. Last week, we billed $12,000, and out of that $12,000, $5,000 of it was new money. That's all initial clean money. And then $6,500 was all reoccurring / occasional clients. So nice. That's cool to see. Yeah, that's one of the bigger numbers we've seen. Outstanding invoices, I think this is what you're talking about. We have $5,000, almost $6,000. That's outstanding over less than 7 days, and 421 that's over 7 days. So yeah, we definitely need to collect some monies. Marketing. So when it comes to marketing, we advertise on 2 channels, Google Local Services and Facebook. Okay. And so last week we spent $462 on Google LSA, and we spent $1,400 on Facebook. I just redid our ads, so you'll see here we did a little bit. We were a little bit more efficient with our ads last week. On Facebook, we got 71 leads. 71 leads. So that's 71 people who raised their hand and said, "I'm interested in your cleaning services." Okay. We had 4 missed calls. People called us, so we didn't answer it. We had 10 Google Local Services. We had 11 people who went to our homepage. 11 people Googled us or somehow got to our homepage and opted in. We had 5 people who called us that we answered. We had 0 referrals, and we got 101 leads last week. Our goal is 122, so we came up a little bit short of our goal, but this cost per lead was a little bit better than last week, so we had $19 per lead. So I think that's okay. Again, our goal is 122, so this week we're going to figure out how to get this goal to 122, and I'm going to come back to these 4 green goals right here: leads goal, quote calls goal, conversion goal, and then recurring clients goal. I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk about all of them, and then I'm going to come back to show you guys how they all work together. Okay. So let's move on from marketing. So marketing is getting people to raise their hand saying, "I'm interested in cleaning services." The next step is getting those people to convert. Okay. And so last week, we had 10 spots that we were not able to fill last week. So we had 10 spots that are cleaners that we could have filled that were unfilled. And so is that number good or bad? Is the number good or bad?
It's not good or bad. Good or bad compared to what?
Exactly. Freaking fantastic. Fantastic freaking answer, Kitty. It's compared to what? And so if I look back and show you guys previous week's data, is it better than 24 spots being unfilled? Yeah. Okay. Is it better than the week before that, 22 spots being unfilled?
Yes.
Okay. Is it better than 12 spots being unfilled?
Pretty close.
Yeah. Is it better than 12 spots being unfilled that week?
Pretty close.
And then is it better than 2 spots?
No.
Well, is it?
If you just compare the numbers, no. But
well,
we actually don't. We want some fluff.
So
we want some breathing room.
Why do we actually prefer 10 over 2? So this is funny because like 24, would you prefer 10 or 24?
10.
Would you prefer 2 or 10?
10.
Stop confusing me. Why are you so confusing? Why? Why 10 versus 2?
It allows for accommodations to be made if somebody calls in and wants to clean tomorrow, or if a cleaner calls out and is unable to fill their schedule, we have somebody to pick those cleans up. So less impact on life happenings for our clients.
Yeah. So the reality is that you always want some spots unfilled. You want a little bit of breathing room on the schedule. And we have figured this out from our first location that if you jam the schedules tight, like people are going to call out. And then it affects your other cleaners, it affects the clients, it becomes a mess real fast. And so having a little bit of flexibility on the schedule, we have figured out this location is the goal. So we remain, as we call it, overstaffed. We always have cleaners who don't have full schedules.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Yeah. We always have cleaners who don't have full schedules. Because that's
what? You're going to hire somebody and you're not going to fill their schedule?
Yes.
Oh.
Until they prove that they are a star cleaner, I'm not going to spend $2,000 on marketing for them not to freaking show up to a clean.
Makes sense.
Not doing it. Now, they also know this. This is something that we set the precedent from the beginning. We have a culture of empowerment. We have a culture that, like, if you want to play this game, you must do your job. This is not just us doing our job, but this is also you doing your job. Now, we will do our job as well. And now, for example, if we have a cleaner who doesn't have a clean and they are a trainer, or there's somebody who we have they've earned their keep, for lack of a better term, will we fill their schedule, Katie?
Absolutely.
What will we do to fill their schedule?
We'll even run promotions and discounts to old leads to fill their schedule.
Yeah.
We will pay money to fill their schedule.
Will we comp cleans? Will we do 100% free cleans to fill their schedule?
I would.
We have. So I just understand that we do it both ways. Like, we will also do whatever it takes to fill someone's schedule who has earned that right and who we want to continue to make sure, like, they are started, they've proven it. Like, we will do whatever it takes. And if you're new, you will need to earn that trust by showing up, getting 5-star reviews, having good feedback from clients, having good feedback from cleaners, and having good feedback from the office staff. And when you do those things, by golly, we will do whatever it takes to fill your schedule. Even something as how far we will go, we will do cleans for free in order to make sure that those cleaners continue to get paid, if that's what it takes. So it might seem extreme the other way, but I'm telling you what, I will do the extreme on the other side of the equation as well. So we have 28 spots currently open right now. Last week, one of our office gals, Megan, was actually sick the entire week. And then Keziah was the only one in the office last week. How many of you guys think that Katie helped out? I'm actually curious. Put in the chat if you guys think that because Megan was out, that Katie jumped in and helped out. Let's see if I pull up the chat here.
They all think I'm lazy.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Katie's not like a team player? You guys don't think Katie's want to do what it takes? It's funny. All these guys are inside the community, so no, she didn't. Right, Katie? What did you tell Keziah? And by the way, she didn't ask because I'd never asked one time. But what was the thing that you told her when this happened? When we had the office gal call out, the other office gal call out, Megan call out.
Yeah, this was Keziah's opportunity to increase her capacity to work. This was her opportunity to show us what she's capable of.
Well, I think most importantly is her opportunity to show her what she's capable of. And did she show?
She showed. It was an epic week.
So we had 35 cold calls scheduled, 21 showed up. She performed 46 cold calls. Again, for all the people who are new, how did we perform 46 cold calls and only 21 people showed up?
She answered the phone and picked it up and dialed all those 100 leads that came in.
Exactly. So there's two ways that can happen. People call us, we answer the phone. See, we answered 38 calls. We also missed 36 calls. We answered 38 calls. But also, you can see here, because I made 146 outgoing calls. And so not everybody had a scheduled quote call. We called them and talked to them and performed a quote call. So Keziah created 25 quote calls by picking up the phone and answering the phone. Sometimes this business is very simple. Use the phone. Answer it. Call with it. And out of those 46 calls that she gave quotes on, how many people closed, Katie?
32.
32. She made 32 closes by herself last week, and our goal was 25. So she closed at a 70%. It's great. You guys can see the numbers here? Great. 70%. How long has Keziah been doing sales for?
2 months.
Yeah. So just so you guys understand this, like we took somebody who had zero sales skills, put them into the system, gave them at bats, but also like we do training every single day. They have good training. A lot of you guys who are inside the community, you guys have how to fill a cleaner schedules training. Like my team goes through that too. They use that training. And so you guys have access to that training as well. And we took somebody who has literally zero sales experience, and she closed 32 sales last week. And how much were those 32 sales projected revenue?
$10,459.
Yeah. It's not bad. Not a bad week. Most importantly, how many conversions did she make last week?
5.
5. Yeah. So she made 37 sales by herself last week. Wild.
100% certain that's better than I've ever done.
Yeah. I think it's better than I've ever done too. So again, back to the attention capacity, guys, like this is what it is. And I'm just going to the reason that this is it's good and it's the best Keziah's ever done, Katie, have we ever seen these type of numbers before?
Yes.
Where?
Bozeman.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that this isn't that surprising to us is that we see these numbers in Bozeman almost every single week, which is why Bozeman is $1 million+ a year company. What is the quote call goal for Bozeman every single week, Katie? Do you remember?
33, I think.
Yeah. So Bozeman makes on average 33 sales every single week, right? And this number right here, I don't know if you've seen these because you don't do the vision meeting with me, but I'll just tell you, it's very common for someone to be at $16,000, $17,000, $18,000 a week, right? This quote call projected revenue. So again, these numbers, while the best Mesa's ever done in Bozeman, this is very standard. And so the reason why that's important to signify is that us as being the leaders to both those companies, we just have a standard of what we expect. And when you expect to make 25, 30 sales every single week, you just do what's required in order to make that happen. Or you have your people do what's required in order to make it happen. And then they're we're just so convicted because we've seen it so many times that this is what is required in order to actually grow a freaking business, that you have people who literally have no experience who are able to fall into the system and just do what's required. So great job. Again, and that's why I corrected you, Katie, with Keziah. I knew she could do it. She just
was great.
To do it.
Good correction.
So conversions, yes. I think someone said in the chat, what is a conversion? A conversion is a recurring client. So we consider a recurring client as somebody who goes on a reoccurring cleaning schedule of weekly, bi-weekly, or every 4 weeks. Okay. All right, client fulfillment. Last week we had 52 cleans. 20 of those were new cleans. 32 were reoccurring / occasional cleans. We had 7 new Google reviews. We had 1 correction clean / discount. We have 109 reoccurring clients, and our goal is 161. We have 22 occasional clients, and we have 239 5-star reviews. Goal is 250. So I told you guys I was going to tie these numbers back together. So last weekend, it's actually funny. This weekend we had a Deck in a Day. So for everybody who's inside our community, you guys have heard of Deck in a Day. Most of you guys have been to Deck in a Day. No, some of you guys have been to Deck in a Day. Tyler Stowers, Renee Krause, Jessica and Lucas. I'm not sure if Kayla Irby's on here. Jacinta, sorry, I know Bobby and Jackie. I can't see everybody, but Katie can give everybody else love who's been Deck in a Day. So a lot of you guys have been to Deck in a Day. If you guys have never heard of Deck in a Day, it's an opportunity where people will come out to Arizona, or if we are in Montana, come out to Montana, and we will spend all day looking at your business and dissecting your problem, giving you a roadmap, and creating your blueprint, your customized blueprint to get you to $1 million cleaning business. Okay. And so this weekend, Jamie Poole came out. She's from St. Louis, and she came out, and we did her Deck in a Day. And I was explaining to her that after she asked, she's like, "Well, what do you guys do for fun?" Right? She was like, what's fun for you guys? I was like, well, last weekend, the weekend before you were here, Jamie, Katie and I rented the same boardroom that you're in right now, and we did a Deck in a Day with our business. Essentially, we just got down on some data and figured out what is our path to get this Mesa business to $1 million, and what is the blueprint to get our Bozeman business to $2 million. And so that's what we do for fun. And so that's where these numbers came from. Is 2 Saturdays ago, Katie and I rented a boardroom, and we spent the day figuring out our previous data to figure out what we needed to do in order for this business to get to $83,000 a month by the end of the year. That was the constraint we put on it. Is like, how do we get this to $83,000 by end of 2024? And so in order for us to do that, we need to have 122 leads that come into our business every single week. And from those 122 leads, we need to close 25 of those leads. And from those 25 leads that we close on new cleans, we need to convert 8 people every single week into reoccurring. And if we do that every single week for the next 12 weeks, now it's 11 weeks, we will get to 161 reoccurring clients. And why is 161 reoccurring clients the goal, Katie?
Because that puts us at roughly $60,000 of recurring revenue on the books to start the month.
That's exactly
so
right.
If we sell only $5,000 a week, we can hit $83,000.
Exactly. So until we get 160 recurring clients, do we have a real shot at actually hitting that $83,000? And that, obviously, this number gets we'll continue to raise this goal or this number as we hit this goal. But that's the first chance we really have a real opportunity to actually hit 83,000 is when this hits 161. Right. So that's how these 4 numbers, how they play with each other, is we just figured out what our conversion rate from leads to sales was, from sales to conversions. And then we took our attrition rate of recurring clients. So has anyone ever heard of the word attrition before, or churn? So if you have a recurring business, this is a word, by the way. Attrition and churn is the same thing. This is a word that is important. So an attrition rate is what percentage do you lose clients? So I don't know if you guys have realized this, but you guys can lose recurring clients. Unfortunately, it's part of the game as well, right? It's I can get recurring clients, but you can also lose them. And so your churn rate or your attrition rate, again, same word. I'm just going to use the word attrition from moving forward. Is at what percentage do you lose clients every single month? And so in our business, we lose 5% of our recurring clients every single month. So as an example, if we had 100 recurring clients to start the month, how many clients are we going to lose that month, Katie?
5.
Cool. Okay. So based on our 5% rate, that's how we came with this with this growth goal. So this growth goal includes that we're going to lose clients. So this isn't just like, yes, we're going to get 8 clients and all of them are going to stick. No. This 8 includes the 5% people who are going to cancel. And guess what? When your business gets up to 200 clients, how many people do you lose every single month?
10. Shit.
It goes up, right? So it scales, like the number scales. So you're like, I'm losing more clients. It's like, yeah, you have more of them. Like, it's part of the game. Okay. So cleaner acquisition. So cleaner acquisition. Last week we spent $127 on Indeed. Katie made 35 calls. We did 25. We had 25 people apply. Katie did 20 interviews. Nice job. 19 performed, 8 scheduled, 4 showed, and 2 hired, and we had 2 onboarded. So let's see. We had Marissa. She put her 2 weeks in, so she's in her second week of training or 3rd week. I don't know.
Third.
Yeah. Third. Aspen, she's in her first-ish week still, so she didn't start till the middle of the last week. But she seems like she might make it. She seems somewhat promising. She's got her pros and cons. Amber and Audrey just started today, I believe. And then Nanette is starting on Friday. She gets onboarded on Friday. You guys can see that Marissa put her 2 weeks in, and Callie was somebody who showed up to onboarding and then quit, and then Jenna was another cleaner that we let go. So this is our pipeline right here. Again, we have 2 people who are in training as of 3 people in training as of right now. These 3, and then we have Nanette starting on Friday. We're consistently hiring people. I had a one-on-one with Asia last week. I actually had 2 more one-on-ones scheduled, but one of them was Marissa, and so she quit before. She put her 2 weeks in before that one-on-one, so I just canceled that one. And I had one other cleaner who actually called out, who we'll see if she makes it as well. But generally not a good sign. So our cleaners last week: Jocelyn 28 hours, Alyssa 32, Tiffany 33, Kayla 27, Asia 21, Miranda 30, Amanda 33. So our girls are working pretty well. They're getting good hours. Marissa 11, Raven was the other cleaner who called out. So you guys can see our bottom here is like, you can see our clear bottom. Do we have a clear bottom? Is that I don't know if that's the right reference. Can you see my bottom? Okay, Katie, tell them the dad joke.
You just gave it away.
Yeah.
Why did the whale? Why did the whale blush?
Why?
Because he saw the ocean's bottom.
You're so bad. You're so bad. You're so naughty. Okay. So you can see we have a clear ocean's bottom here. Okay. We have Marissa and Raven, and so like we do not prioritize their cleans, and that's the way it is, right? And so everybody who comes in, Aspen, she will be on the bottom now. And as Amber and Audrey come in, we'll see how they do, but they'll start on the bottom. But like these cleaners right here, like these cleaners are solid. Like we like all these cleaners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 cleaners that we really like right now. And so like we will prioritize all 7 of these cleaners. Like they've all proven that they're showing up, that they're willing to do what it takes. Like we like these 7 cleaners. They are prioritized. Everybody else we consider suspect. Okay, they have to earn their stripes. And so although it shows you we have 10 cleaners, we really have 7 solid cleaners, right? And so that's why we continue to hire, is we're trying to find solid cleaners. We're trying to find good cleaners. We're trying to find people who actually want to be here. We're trying to find stars. We're trying to find people who actually want to freaking help. People who are actually taking accountability. People who actually show up and say they're going to show up. People who actually want to be part of a team. And that takes a lot of freaking people to figure out who those people are. Because really, as much due diligence as we do in our phone interview, and then we do a Zoom interview, and then we do an onboarding, we really never know until they're out in the freaking field. You just really don't know. So that being said, we had 10 cleaners who worked. Our revenue per hour is $51. We had 1 correction clean, Rick Smith. This was a very small one. We literally forgot to take one of those little, what's it called, Kitty? Like the little, like a
little bath mat.
Yeah.
Non-slip bath mat.
Yeah, that like is in the shower. We have to like pull it up. So super easy fix. Amanda took responsibility for it. She went back and fixed it, and she talked about it at the team meeting today. And she was like, I was just being a hamster and just going so fast, and everyone saw it. So totally fine. We had 3 canceled recurring clients. Boo! Boo! I'm booing Tracy, Brianna, and Stephanie. Okay. But we also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reoccurrings. So we added 5 and lost 3.
That's a net +2. I'll take that.
It's a net +2, exactly. So again, at the end of the day, as much as we only want to focus on the positives, we also are going to have a couple negatives. 5 positives, 3 negatives, we net 2. So that's good. Canceled cleans during the week. So this is something that we recognized has been a problem over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Our sales numbers have been fantastic. Our conversions have been really well. And we're like, why isn't this thing growing? So despite all these canceled clients, the business is still growing, but this is our area of focus right now. So we've noticed this for probably 3 weeks now that we have lots of people who fall off the schedule. So we get people on the schedule, then they fall off. And so in the last couple of weeks, we've started collecting credit card on file. That's helped some of the one-time cleans. We've also been charging people the cancellation fee. So you guys can see here we didn't charge anybody last week cancellation fee. So this is disappointing. However, I think the previous week, let's just look back here. I think we did. Oh, they didn't put it on here. So this was the idea that I wanted to see who we actually were charging. You guys can see here last week we had $3,000 of money fall off the schedule. The week before that we had $1,600 fall off the schedule, and the week before that, I think this was the first week we tracked it, we had $2,000 fall off the schedule that week. So it's been about a month since we started tracking this data, and so now that we're aware of it, we're going to continue to work at minimizing this problem. This will always be a problem, but we're trying to minimize the problem that we keep this number down, right? Because $1,900, shit, 12,000 plus 2,000, that's $14,000. Like that's a whole nother level that we could be at if we were able to keep cleans on the schedule. So definitely, this is something that we're continuing to work on. Again, right now, I'll tell you what our strategy is. We're collecting credit cards up front. We're being very clear with the 48-hour cancellation notice. And then for reoccurring clients, we are, if they do cancel last minute and they give us pushback, then we're just letting them know, hey, here's the cancellation policy. Just want to let you know for next time that, if you do cancel, please give us more than 48 hours. That's all, right? Cool. Anything you want to say on that, Katie?
Nope.
Cool.
Did it.
Cool. Okay. Discounts. So as far as discounts go, let's see. We gave out 10% discount. So these are all Google review discounts. So if you guys looked up if you guys saw us at the very top or towards the middle, we have 239 Google reviews. This business has been in business for 8 months. The reason why it's so many is because we make an offer. We have an offer to every single client to write a Google review. Part of the offer is that they can get 10% off their second clean, which incentivizes them to be on a recurring service. And so that's where these 10% discounts come from. So these are my favorite discounts. I love these ones. Free cleaning voucher. This one's a $50. So this probably comes from the homepage discount, I presume, right? The $50 one?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So this should be homepage discount, homepage voucher, $50 cleaning voucher. $50 cleaning voucher. And then referral, we had a couple referrals. This is my second favorite discount, is that we actually give our clients $25 for each person they refer. As long as the person becomes a client, we give them money. Like, this is my favorite one by far. And then we just gave, what is this discount? Michelle Singleton got a $100 voucher, and Lorna got a $100 voucher. So that must have been a quick fill discount, I presume.
I think that was because I was trying to hit her $12,000 revenue goal. So yeah, she crushed it with those.
Cool. Yeah. So altogether, we got $364 in discounts. So, okay. So that is the 32nd week of business for Mesa 5-Star Cleaning. So again, if you guys are brand spanking new here, welcome to the party. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of, hopefully you guys were entertained. Hopefully you guys were like, okay, this is neat, this is cool. Or maybe you're like, this is a lot, this is confusing. If you guys are interested in learning about this vision sheet, or if you're just interested in learning about this business system that I just shared with you, by the way, this is a business system that I just shared with you. Okay, this did not happen on accident. Everything that is done on purpose. Doesn't mean that it's right. It just means that it's done on purpose. Okay, we're still figuring out we're still figuring out how to make it 100% right. However, it was right enough to build $1 million business Now, 1 year, now this is the second year that that location has done $1 million. This business looks like it's projected to do $50,000 in month number 8 of its existence. So there's something here. There's something here that's working. Also, there's other people in here like Jessica and Lucas who use the same system that they're projected to do $60-ish thousand this month. Kayla Irby, she's projected to do $100,000 this month. Marie Jett, I think, is on here. She's projected to do $40,000 this month. So there's other people using the system that Renee Krause, 40-something thousand this month. There's other people on here who use the same system that have doubled, tripled their businesses. So there's something to be said. It is a system. So if you're interested in learning more about the system itself and you're interested in doing it for free, who doesn't like free? This whole call has been free, by the way, just so you guys know. Ain't nobody taking your money to be on here. You guys can go to the masterclass. So James, if you will, drop the link for the masterclass again. And inside the masterclass, you guys can access tools. You guys can access strategies on how we have built this $1 million cleaning business, and you guys can implement those in your business at absolutely zero cost. Zero cost. Okay. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. So James, please drop that link for the masterclass. And for everybody else who maybe is already inside our community. So I also want to make a quick announcement here. I will talk more about it tomorrow on the coaching call, but I am also going to open up a few more spots for one-on-one coaching. Okay. We have decided that this system is working. It's working. However, we also want to ensure that not only do we grow this thing to $1 million, the second location, we want to make sure it's actually profitable. And so as much as I really want to just like start a third location, like let's just keep growing shit. I'm listening to Katie and being a little bit more conservative. I'm like, okay, let's grow this thing, and then let's see if this thing can actually be as profitable as the first location. So the first location, I'm like, pretty cool. I don't know if we can do it again. So let's just see if we can do it again. So that being said, we're not going to start a third location until the earliest we start a third location is March of next year. So it gives me about 6 months where I need something to do. Something to do that is productive, that is not messing shit up and looking at all the flaws around the people around me, which is what Katie always says I do. When I don't have things to do, I just pick on her. She doesn't like me picking on her. She's like, go do something. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna coach a few more people. So anyway, I'll reach out to you. I just want to let you guys, because there's quite a few people on here who I'll reach out to, but I'm gonna open up some more coaching spots because I really want to be able to showcase the system in other people's businesses, because we've proven that we can do it in Bozeman. There's a very high probability that we're going to do it here in Mesa again, and then we'll do a third location, and then it's like, cool, you guys can do it. But my goal is to have other people be able to utilize the system and for them to be able to grow their businesses and them also be able to have $100,000 months and then take home $20,000+ without them actually operating the business. Like, to me, that is pretty cool. And there's a few people in the community who are doing that and who are really close to being able to do that. And so, like, volume is the answer. I want to put more people in that position to have that opportunity. So then all of a sudden it just becomes more real. If there's 10 people who can do this, then the strangers who are on here today are just like no brainer. But right now there's only 2 people, there's only 2 businesses, and they're both mine and Katie. So they're like, not sold yet, right? So that's my goal, is to be able to make this so it's just like you seem silly for not implementing the system. That's my goal. So if you're brand new here, go to the masterclass. Go get inside there. And if you're inside the community already, I might be reaching out to you. See if you want to do some one-on-one coaching, to see if you want to put your business on a rocket ship to get to $1 million. So either way, happy freaking Monday. Katie and I got to get off here. We got to go do this meeting again with our team now. This was our warm-up. Now we got to go do it again. So happy freaking Monday. Thank you guys for showing up here today. Katie, thank you for being the co-host on this journey and making this game pretty fun. Pretty fun. So
appreciate you
guys. Awesome. All right, happy freaking Monday. If you guys are if you guys are not done with this call, sorry about it. We got things to do. We got to go run this business. So I appreciate you guys for Brandon. If you guys are on here, again, if you guys want to get connected, go to the masterclass. If you guys are already inside the community, then I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll talk a little bit more about the coaching inside there. So we'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Bye.